So, hello, good morning, everyone. I am Roxanne Gracie Tagab, the last group presenter and the last reporter. O, di ba last group na nga, last reporter pa. O, di ba bongga? I'm sure you'll remember this lesson because it's very interesting. So, I hope everyone to keep tuning in. So, our group already discusses too the views of LGBTQ in history, the ABCs of LGBTQIA+, understanding the transgenderism, and now we will move on to the transitioning process. So, first, when we say transitioning process, what comes on your mind when you hear the word transition or transitioning? Alright. You might thought of something transformation, something new, and something changes happen. Okay, you got it. So here, let's move on in this lesson. Let's start. Okay, so let's start. When we see the transitioning process, when a person realizes that he or she may be a transgender, a psychologist can guide a person through the transition, especially when a person wants to go through permanent changes like sex reassignment surgery. So, in some countries, transitioning process or transition of an individual is being covered by their medical insurance. And they get support from their employees and families, which is very crucial during transitioning because it takes years to be fully transition. From, as discussed na, ang iba, in some countries, the surgery is covered by medical insurance. So, it is assumed that the surgery can be costly, expensive siya. So, there are transgender people who cannot have or do not want to have hormonal replacement therapy or sex reassignment surgery because of personal, economic, or cultural reasons, and that is okay. When we see transitioning, it is transitioning to another gender is quite challenging. And the accessibility for many transgender people because of the social stigma, discrimination, the medical costs, the accessibility of medical treatment and support, oppressive laws in each countries, and the threat of violence from prejudiced people. So, especially, emerge karon yung issue is the discrimination about LGBTQ. So, that's why the other members of LGBTQ wala pa siya na came out silang shell kung kinsa jud sila because of they are afraid to be cancelled by the society, to be discriminated because karon here in the Philippines we have that maraming batas na sumusuporta talaga niya, but merong batas din nga isang politician na nagpanukala ng anti-discrimination bill, and we will discuss it for later. So, in some countries, allows for transgender people to change their legal gender from male to female or female to male. So, there's a lots of celebrity here in the Philippines. Kasi na, like, Charis Pimpenko, and now, he is Sander na pala because since transgender siya, the other may wants to be called he instead of she. If it's female to male, then male to female, we call him she. So this recognition is a product of decades of collective effort of the transgender community and the LGBTQ+ community. However, here in the Philippines, we still lack of the laws and the medical capacity to support transgender people living in their full potential. That's why other transgender who is quite wealthy or can afford with a sex reassignment surgery, they go abroad. And so, the proper use of pronouns he or she should be observed when talking to a transgender. It is because it shows our respect to them. as a decent human being. So often, when a person is clearly presenting herself as a female by the way they dress and carry themselves, it is safe to assume that they want to use or to be called he or she, like physically female or feminine. But when you hear her voice, it sounds masculine. So when you approach that person, it is safe to assume that that person wants to be called she, at ate, miss, instead of that. Pero pag usahay, pag iba kasagaran, pag malalagot ka, kasugugod nyo di mo, kuya, physically female na siya, tapos kuya may tawag, so disheartening siya sa para sa ilahang side. Discrimination na din yan. Okay. So now, we will move on to examples of the Filipino transgender. I know familiar ni sila sa inyo ha, kay matunog yung mga name nila. They are listed as one of the awesome transgender here in the Philippines. So let us know about them. So first example, Filipino transgender, she is Geraldine Roman, a student and a lawmaker. So, recognizable mo kanyang PK. She has been featured na pod sa ABS-CBN sa TV Patrol before. It is because the featured siya, she is the first openly transgender politician elected to the Congress of the Philippines. Bataan Representative Geraldine Jerry Roman is the face of the modern transgender community. And she also the one who passes the bill of anti-discrimination law. The next one is Gina Rosero, a Filipino-American supermodel and a TED speaker. When we say TED speaker, it is a famous show in the other country. I know you are very familiar with that show. So let us know who is Gina Rosero pala. So Gina Rosero is a Filipino-American supermodel, a TED speaker, and a transgender advocate who founded the Gender Proud, an advocacy and aid organization that stands up for transgender rights and was based in New York City. Sana all New York City. So, 5 years old pa lang si Gina Rosero. She admitted to her parents na she's seen herself as a girl daw talaga. I just felt I was a girl. Then, gladly, her parents was supportive about her decision. The next one, familiar mo kay mo ani sa iya ha. Kinikiliganing dati ng mga girls. She is na siya ngayon kasi transgender na siya. Binibini Gandang Hari, a local celebrity model and host. Born as Rostom Carino Padilla, Binibining Gandang Hari used to be a matinee idol, an action star, and a game show host in the Philippines. Binibini's coming out had created some waves in the entertainment industry, pero until now, she doesn't admit na nagpa-reassignment surgery siya. PBB siya before sa na-discover. Kapatid siya ni Robin Padilla and ex siya ni Carmina Villaruel. So, nagbulag sila ato na time just because found out, Roston admitted that he is a gay. So, marites kayo ang peg. So, that's all, and I hope you learned something from this video. That transitioning process. Before that, I am Roxanne. Once again, I am Roxanne Gracie Tagab, and hope you learned something in this video. Bye-bye!